I was a gymnast, I am hypermobile, and I have suffered many injuries, and I have to stop practicing. Now I want to help out athletes, so maybe they don't have to stop. So the aim of this project is to understand the high incidence of injuries in artistic gymnastics from the perspective of one of its specific feature, flexibility, which is fundamental for good performance in the sport and may be linked with joint hypermobility. And what is joint hypermobility? It's a condition in which a person's joint easily move beyond the normal range expected, like this. This means that the individual finds it easier to do gymnastics as they can execute a larger number of movements. However, in the long term, this can damage the musculoskeletal system because in tandem with hyperextension comes ligament laxity and reduced muscular strength. Considering that strength is impaired when hypermobility is a symptom of illness, my first goal is to check if the impairment also occurs in healthy athletes, and later observe if a specific aspect of the collagens in their muscles could justify this variation. But why collagens? The joint mobility is determined by the collagens in the extracellular matrix of the adjacent muscular tissue. They provide solidity, stability, and firmness. So I have classified high-performing athletes according to the Baton scale, which uses a 9-point system to rate joint movement with a minimum score of 4 points for hypermobility. This allowed me to split them into two groups. First, 27 athletes with joint hypermobility and 16 athletes in the control group. Both groups underwent isokinetic evaluation, which measures torque and work during knee flexing and extending. Later, we will do muscle biopsies followed by immunohistochemical study. A muscle fragment is extracted and antibodies help us to study its composition by identifying which types of collagens constitute which muscle groups. This way, we may be able to establish a link between hypermobility, the consequent strain reduction, and muscle constitution. By classifying 43 athletes aged between 12 and 20, I could identify a large presence of hypermobility in artistic gymnastics, around 63%. The hypermobility occurred in 83% of females and 48% of males. This indicates a higher incidence among women. The isokinetic evaluation chart demonstrates that torque is a significant increase in hypermobile athletes in comparison to the control group, which is the opposite of what the literature has shown so far. Also have a positive correlation between muscular strength and degree of hypermobility. Studies work with the general population and point a decrease in muscular strength. This rises when dealing specifically in artistic gymnastics population, as preventative work is done to strengthen their muscles and to keep joints stable during training. Well, this has led us to conclude that, first, joint hypermobility rate in artistic gymnastics is 63%, much higher than other sports. Second, the rate is higher in females. And finally, artistic gymnastics who have joint hypermobility show a significant increase in torque in comparison to the control group. So the next stage of the study is to establish a relationship between muscular strength and the constitution of the muscles in terms of the existing collagen fibers using immunohistochemical analysis, because if I can find a specific muscle component which is responsible for hypermobility, I can avoid injuries in the future.